Somewhere in the Amazon, a dog walks past a camera in the dark. It is there for 1 second. Long body, short ears, heavy tail, eyes catching the flash. Then it is gone. For most people, South America's wild dogs begin and end with foxes. Maybe the maned wolf, if you have seen that strange red animal on impossibly long legs. But the continent has a hidden family of canids, and some of them are so rarely seen that even scientists are still trying to understand how many are left. There is a forest dog that moves like a shadow, a pack hunter with webbed feet, a fox surviving in fragments of Chilean forest, a desert fox slipping through dry coastal scrub, and a red giant crossing the grasslands at dusk. Many of them now sit on the IUCN Red List, the global system scientists use to judge extinction risk. When IUCN calls a species near threatened, it means the animal is close to entering the official threatened categories. When it says critically endangered, the warning is much sharper. And in South America, several wild dogs are already close to that line. The most mysterious may be the short-eared dog. Its scientific name is Atelocynus microtus, and it belongs to its own genus. That means there is no other living dog quite like it. It lives across parts of the Amazon basin, in deep forest, often near water. It is dark, low, solitary, and difficult to study. Researchers may work for years and come away with only scattered records, a track, a camera trap photo, a brief sighting from a riverbank. The short-eared dog is listed as near threatened. Its danger is tied to the forest itself. As roads, farms, fires, and logging open the Amazon, this animal loses the quiet, continuous habitat it seems to need. And when people move in, domestic dogs often follow. For wild canids, domestic dogs can bring disease, competition, and direct attacks. So the short-eared dog is not only hiding from people. Increasingly, it is hiding from the world people bring with them. Then there is the bush dog. At first glance, it barely looks like a classic dog. It is squat, muscular, short-legged, and built close to the ground. Its feet are partly webbed. It swims well. And unlike the short-eared dog, it is social. Bush dogs hunt in packs. They can take prey much larger than themselves, moving through forest and wetland like a small, coordinated unit. But that same social life can become a weakness. The bush dog is also listed as near threatened. It has a wide range on paper, but it is naturally rare across much of that range. Habitat loss makes those scattered groups more isolated. Diseases from domestic and hunting dogs can move through packs, and because the species is hard to detect, declines may happen before anyone has a clear count. A bush dog pack can pass through a landscape almost invisibly. Then one year, it simply stops appearing. The maned wolf feels like it belongs to a different story. It is the tallest wild canid on Earth, with long black legs, enormous ears, a red coat, and a dark mane along its back. It lives mainly in South America's open grasslands and savannas, especially the Cerrado, a vast tropical savanna centered in Brazil, stretching into parts of Bolivia and Paraguay. The Cerrado is one of the richest savanna ecosystems on the planet, but much of it has been converted into farms, cattle pasture, and roads. The maned wolf is listed as near threatened. Its threats are brutally ordinary: habitat loss, vehicle strikes, persecution, and disease from domestic animals. It is also stranger than people expect. The maned wolf eats small animals, but fruit can make up a major part of its diet. One fruit is so closely associated with it that people call it the wolf apple. So this animal is more than a predator. It is also a seed carrier, moving plant life through the grasslands. When a maned wolf disappears from the Cerrado, the landscape loses a hunter, a scavenger, and a wandering gardener. Seen together, these animals barely seem related. The maned wolf is the giant, standing close to a meter at the shoulder. The bush dog is compact and powerful, shaped for water and pack hunting. The short-eared dog is a mid-sized forest specialist, built for secrecy. Darwin's fox is much smaller, a dark little fox tied to Chilean forests. The Sachuran fox survives in dry coastal habitats of Peru and Ecuador, and the hoary fox, found in Brazil's open habitats, is a termite-eating specialist of the Cerrado. Different shapes, different worlds, one family under pressure. The rarest of them may be Darwin's fox. It lives only in Chile, mainly on Chiloé Island, and in parts of the coastal mountains on the mainland. It is listed as endangered. That means it faces a very high risk of extinction in the wild, Fewer than 1,000 mature individuals are left, divided between Chiloé Island and a few coastal patches on the mainland. Darwin's fox survives in forest fragments, where every pressure becomes magnified. Habitat loss matters. Domestic dogs matter. Disease matters. Even a few attacks can be serious when the total population is small. There is something haunting about that. A species can survive storms and hunger and predators for thousands of years. Then it finds itself endangered by the most familiar animal in a nearby village, a dog. Farther north, the Saturan fox lives in a much drier world. Its range follows the Pacific side of South America, especially Peru and Ecuador. It moves through dry forest, scrub, and desert edge landscapes where survival depends on flexibility. It is listed as near threatened. The Saturan fox does not have the instant drama of the maned wolf or the mystery of the short-eared dog. But that may be exactly why it is vulnerable. Small, adaptable animals are easy to overlook until their habitat has already been cut into pieces. A fox at the edge of a farm can become a pest in someone's story long before it becomes a conservation priority in everyone else's. The hoary fox belongs in this same shadowed group. It is found in Brazil and is closely tied to open habitats, especially the cerrado. Unlike many canids, it feeds heavily on insects, including termites. Recent conservation work has raised concern about roadkill, domestic dogs, disease, habitat conversion, and genetic isolation. It is a reminder that rarity is not always dramatic. Sometimes it looks like a small fox crossing a road at night in a landscape that used to be continuous. The pattern across these species is clear. The habitats are different, but the pressures rhyme. Forests are fragmented. Grasslands become farms. Roads cut through home ranges. Domestic dogs carry disease into wild places. And because these animals are hard to see, they can vanish quietly. That may be the most dangerous thing about South America's secret dogs. They do not always give us a crisis we can easily measure. They give us absences, a camera trap that records nothing, a road where one more animal is found too late, a forest patch where a fox used to move, a grassland where the tall red silhouette no longer appears at dusk. The solutions are not mysterious. Protect large, connected habitats. Keep corridors open between forest fragments. Reduce roadkill where animals cross. Vaccinate and manage domestic dogs near reserves. Work with local communities before fear or conflict turns rare canids into targets. And keep studying the species that still live beyond the edge of what we know. For the short-eared dog, that means understanding a ghost before its forest changes beyond recognition. For the bush dog, it means keeping landscapes connected enough for packs to survive. For the maned wolf, it means treating the cerrado as a living ecosystem, not empty land. For Darwin's fox, it means protecting the last forests where a tiny population still holds on. And for the Saturan and hoary foxes, it means paying attention while there is still time to choose a different ending. South America's wild dogs are not loud animals. They do not announce themselves. They pass through grass, forest, mud, and desert edge with almost no witness. But every once in a while, a camera flashes. And for 1 second, the hidden family is visible. The question is whether we can protect them in the long darkness between those flashes.